Welcome back to the Elder Circle. This is episode 2, Dr. Liam. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, talk about it, tell your mama and them about the channel. Um, Today's topic, it's going to be a little sensitive, but very true. Transmasculine men, the ego, and the instant families that we create with women that sometimes drain the life out of us. Why do trans men do this, and where does it begin, in my opinion? Now, there'll be episodes following this where I'm actually going to sit down with some brothers that will give their view, and you'll get to hear some broader opinions. I've done this, that's why I speak on it. I did the shadow work that helped me move past the hero complex that comes with a certain level of codependency that I think that we all have from, the trauma that we experience and being treated like shit. You want to feel good. You want to attach yourself to a family because you've not felt like you had one. And sometimes that leads to very unhealthy connections and attachments. And at the end, I'll give you guys a couple books, suggestions that I use myself to help get through and learn more about me and get through my codependency issues, face the shit that I needed to, so that I could recognize, why are you doing this? Are you doing this because you really care about these people, this family, this woman, these kids? Or are you doing this because you don't want to face the shit you went through and you're trying to recreate something with someone else? I think it's human nature to do that. And I think a lot of people do it in a lot of ways. I think a lot of men, biologically born men, do it. Um, these days they're called simps, claim jumpers, people like that. I don't think that any man really truly wants to be a stepfather. It's a hard duty. But I did learn through all of this that there are positives to being a stepdad. There are positives to uh, attaching yourself to the right family. And I wouldn't even say attaching yourself to, I would say acclimating yourself and getting to know a woman's children after you've gotten to know her, she's gotten to know you, and it's a healthy relationship that's developed, and not one of those things where you kick in the door waving the motherfucking daddy flag automatically, like you come in, y'all done did it one time, she got your nose wide open and you like, yeah, you understand, them my kids, them our kids. Y'all in matching pajamas and shit on Facebook. You've been together 6 months. So, it's, and how many people out there did it? Talk shit if you want to. I know you did. So let's get into it. So my personal opinion is, when we start out in the lesbian game, it's hard when you're a transsexual man, when you're truly transmasculine, and from a young age that something isn't right about you, but you don't. If you're not surrounded by that, then how would you know to name it? Now, today's world, you can click anywhere and a balloon that's got cotton candy hair and damn pink lipstick. People are saying, "Oh, that's trans balloon." So it's not the case now. But when I was younger, there were no examples of anything, so you really had nothing to kind of hold it up against. All you could say was the closest thing that I'm like are my boy cousins or my boy friends, and what I like, they like. What I want, they want. I remember when I was little, my family spent most of their time telling me, "You ain't no boy." And that's actually the title of my memoir that's coming. And that developed into "You ain't no man." And I say to them, "Ha fucking ha." No, I'm just kidding. But there was never a time where I gravitated towards girl stuff. And in the South, when you're young, when you're little, like I said on the other one, yeah, it's okay if you're a tomboy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody fall off in the creek. No shirt on. You ain't got no doorknobs yet, so no shirt on, nothing like that. Everything's okay. But as you age, that's when the gender roles become more and more strict. That's when things are really, a line is drawn, like this is for boys, this is for girls. That never worked for me, ever. And there was no one that could make it work for me. I took ass whoopings from it. Damn near seemed like everybody at one point. And I took a lot of mistreatment. And that's not to say, I'm not playing the violin in the background. That's just facts. I wear it now is, I took that shit to be me. It's also part of what motivates me to fight for me, whether it be knuckles or knowledge. I'm down with both. Just, an FYI. And I learned to shoot at 6. FYI. But that's jokes. Kinda. But yes, as you age, that's when, that's why I learned I'm a great cook. I clean up a house better than a damn Mexican cleaning crew. That was a joke. Calm down. But seriously, you ever had married maids come over? They don't fuck around. Or Rosa's cleaning, she don't fuck around either. And yes, that's a real place. But I learned all those things because in the South, you're raised to be a wife. You're raised to, as girls, you're raised to do certain things. And I think that's the difference between trans men and trans women in general is little boys have a much more, especially when the little boy's a little sweet boy and, everybody love him and he can speak out and he's so cute and he's entitled. And I think that carries over, that socialization, just as the same for us. I think that you find some trans guys, which are the guys that are on the more non-binary side of things, who were able to run their mouth to their parents. Might have been daddy's little girl or mama's little girl or maybe an only child. Some of us were treated like shit the little boys were. Some of us were the oldest in the era of Gen X, where you weren't really treated like a girl or a boy. You were get it done and go pick up your brother. Shit. And iron their school clothes, that kind of thing. Socialization had a lot to do with it. And I think socialization ultimately is what makes us make the decisions to latch on to these unhealthy ass relationships with these ladies that, had they not, if they didn't have a damn bucket full of kids, they wouldn't be with you. And not because you're you, but because they would have more options. They exhausted their option card. And that's where a lot of men now will say, no, I don't want to be with women with kids. And a lot of women get upset, but I get it now. I used to be one of those to be like, man, you ain't a real man. No, I get it now. I really do. And there will be another episode about that as to why I get it, but I definitely get it. My wife and I, when we met after my ex-wife, which was 4 kids, happily raised the 4 of them with her. Would I go back and do some things differently? Absolutely, from the beginning, but no regrets up until this point. When it comes to the kids, that bitch crazy. But when it comes to the kids, my current wife, I sound like a player. Her children are older, they're grown, which I'd already made my mind up once my relationship was over with my wife. I'm not fucking with a woman unless her kids are out of the house and they old enough to where they can bring us some groceries and shit. Like, way older than 18 even. Because, there's new generations. Y'all stay home till y'all 30. Fucking. And sure thing, she was on the same wavelength, but we're from the same generation. So our value systems aligned. That's something I didn't look at before with women. All I looked at was, ooh, it's a family for me. And they're so ready to give me a spot. That's a red flag. When you're not right, your shit is all out of order. And a woman is like, yeah, come on in the house. Shit. And be us as husband and daddy. That lets you know that, you're serving a purpose that goes beyond love, care, compassion, and help make this ship. My grandma's always said when a woman got a fool, she gonna keep him. And when she used to say that to me, I never would get it. Like, I would be pissed. I'd be like, well, I ain't no fool. Meanwhile, I was a juggling fool. Juggling bananas. And I think that we do that because of the hardships that we go through in the beginning. You don't feel like you fit in anywhere because you don't really fit in with the lesbian community, not when you're a transsexual man for real, because lesbians be looking at you like, damn, you're so manly. And in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, bitch, I am. And you dress like one. Stop it. Or people gonna think you a man. Nah, kidding. But back in my day, that's kind of how it was. And I didn't fit in. And I was okay with that. And I didn't, I hung out with the whole lesbian crowd probably for just a couple years. After that, I was like, fuck it, I'll go find me some homeboys. Did not. I hadn't been to a gay club in over 20 years, probably more. It just wasn't, I didn't fit in. And remember, gay is a sexuality, not a gender. And I like women that are heterosexual, cushy. So you know what? You you get to a point where you don't feel like you fit in anywhere. So once you meet someone who gives you space and makes you feel like a person, and you know they feed into your little ego, and you feel like you're the head of a household and you're important, you jump on it. All of those things I just listed are completely unhealthy because you've got two things going on. One, she recognizes that, you know, she's got an easy target, which makes her a narcissistic predator. You, because you don't love yourself and you're codependent and you refuse to face your shit, you're an easy target. But you'll label yourself as an empath until you face your shit. Once you face your shit, you really do become an empath because you you can see people for who they are. Women like that, you see them from a mile away, and they stay away from you. They do. They run from you because they know, oh hell no, I can't play him. It happens in our community with trans for trans love. I see it all the time. I've been to conferences. I see these little young boys getting just ear fucked. Oh, King, I see you as a man, right? I don't fucking care. I see me as a man. There are things that once you do the work and you let go of all that codependent self hate, and it turns into I appreciate myself, I like myself, I know myself, I've done the work, I deserve to have somebody that's either done their work, want to work with me, we in the process of working, part time, half time, something, shit. A woman that's at least partially self aware. Self aware enough to where she's like, okay, you know what? We're gonna do this work together. I don't want you to meet my kids until we're healthy. That's a green flag. A green flag is, you know, yeah, I have kids. You could meet them. They have a relationship with their father. I want you to meet their father. If you have an issue with that, then you're the red flag. I said in the last podcast, I made sure that my shit was on point because I wouldn't want some dude to be able to say, I'm doing half when he wouldn't even do full. And then on top of that, everybody says shit, baby daddy, he always gonna be able to hit it. I wanted to make sure, hell no. And I was knocking it out the park. He couldn't touch it with a golf club. You feel me? And that means anything. And was I ever arrogant or rude? No. Why? There was no need to be that way because I know who I am. Now, before I did the work, was I arrogant and rude? Yes, but not towards the kid's father. I was arrogant and rude about my position. I thought I was something extra because I was stepping in. Not knowing to the outside world, you're like a fucking fool. You got a great job. You go have all your own shit and discover who you are. No, you're gonna latch yourself to 6 people, which she would have to be there with him anyway, and fuck around and tell one of them kids something you that she don't agree with. Then you got a problem with her, the grandma, the auntie, they cousins. You go to the cookout, motherfuckers looking at you crazy. There's a lot to it, and a lot of you guys post on social media, and you don't know that there are people out here we know already. We already know. And the biggest thing that you have is that you can say, I'm doing something. And that's the problem. That's codependency. That's the hero complex. Makes you feel better about yourself. When honestly, you could feel better about yourself when you just get to know yourself. Deal with the hurt that you've been dealt from your family and everybody that didn't accept you. And you don't have to accept everybody else that comes your way. You can actually choose what enters your world, your environment. Healthy things. Even women with children that are in healthy situations, like I mentioned before. Healthy stuff takes time, it takes work. And that's why it means so much more and it lasts so much longer. Dopamine spikes, trauma bonds, codependency feels good as hell in the beginning, man. It's fire and desire. And that shit turned into motherfucking Ike and Tina by the end of it all. Bitch, you trying to tell me? Yeah, by the end of it all. Best thing that you can do is latch yourself onto all the things that are going to nurture and grow and take care of you. You have to learn to get through that lonely part. That part where when you want so badly to be next to somebody, even if it's the wrong somebody, that's the best time for you to be by yourself. Because once you let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, you'll come out the other side, man, so much stronger, so much better. You'll be able to be you. You don't even know who that is yet. I'm 46, be 47 this year. When I was 30, I swore I knew everything, me, everybody. I'm a totally different person than I was. Wouldn't allow myself to accept some of the shit that I did back then. Wish I could double back and smack a couple motherfuckers. But a couple of my exes have shown up, and I got the chance to tell them to kick fucking rocks, boulders, kick them, kick them, kick them, kick them till you break your foot. And when those times come, do not be the bigger person at that point. We're going to have a talk about when it's time to be the bigger person. There are certain times where it's not a lick back. It's a motherfucking set it straight. Y'all take care of yourselves. I love you. Please stop listening to all this shit. And if you do, go to a news source that's reliable. You know, WGN Facebook is not a news source. WZW TikTok is not a news source. So please stop listening to the bullshit. If you're going to listen to anything, listen to somebody that's telling you something good and get your ass up and do something with your life. And if you are doing something with your life, keep doing it. I'm proud of you. Keep pushing. Don't let nobody stop shit. You don't take no shit from nobody. Until next time, kiddies.